Hey, welcome to the Relationship Codes. I'm Kevin C. Bozeman, better known as Coach Bose, here as your relationship and personality temperament certified elite expert. Okay, because I've
Elite.
been elite expert, and somebody say, "Well, why you say elite?" Because you have to get these five type of applications, and so once you get certified in the relationship personality temperament foundation, then you add on the learning and teaching style, then you have to add on the communication style, then you add on the negotiation style, then you add on the leadership style, and then you add on the better selling style. Now you take those certifications and then you put 30 years of practice with them, all you see is tendencies and the same issues, the same problems as it was 30 years ago is the same one it is 20 years ago, is the same one it is 10 years ago, is the same stuff it is today.
Right.
So that's why I'm an elite expert. So,
I
and I'm here
love
with
it.
my girl Kasha B in the house.
What's up? I'm Kasha Bailey. I am the virtual business concierge.
Yes, concierge. Yeah, I like
Concierge.
that. Right. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Well, we're in the same clothes because the conversation got so good that we had a longer conversation to have to break it up. So so
Right.
last week we are talking about hidden principles that make every kind of relationship thrive. And according to these three laws, the law of significance, the law of the big picture, and the law of Mount Everest. Um, and so, as I said last week, they're written for leadership success, but today we're going to continue to unpack how they apply to relationships that shape our lives, both personally and professionally.
That's right.
So, how do they help build a stronger marriage, a healthier workplace, a trusting client relationship, a business partnership, and what happens when you ignore them? So, we are going to kind of decode some things. And last week was the law of significance. So, if you missed that episode, go back and watch.
That was
Today, we're
good
going to
too.
talk about that was a good one. That's why we're still
Yeah.
in the same clothes because we
Look, I
can't
know,
get the
right? I know
conversation.
he got
We
fired
have to
up.
break
I
this
know,
up.
right?
So, today, we're going to focus on the law of the big picture.
Right. And the law of the big picture simply says the goal is more important than the role.
Hmm.
And most relationships don't focus on the goal, they focus on their role
Hmm.
in a relationship. Who's supposed to provide more? Who's supposed to pay all the bills?
Who's supposed to cook and clean?
Who's supposed to cook and clean? All of those things are roles versus what's y'all goal together in a personal relationship, love relationship, and even a partnership. Because
Hmm.
sometimes owners don't want to relinquish control, they don't want to share, they don't
Hmm.
really know how to build, and that really building sometimes means I have to trust you in your department to run it, and we'll make adjustments and mistakes as long as the way we go. Some
Hmm.
people like, I'm not going to give that up. And so they don't, so you don't grow. You just
Right. It's
stay
stagnant.
stagnant,
Hmm.
because you haven't turned over or relinquished any type of a goal, role for your goal, which is
Hmm.
what you're supposed to have in place. And so,
Hmm.
and just to be clear, one of the things that drove me to start podcasting was just to be able to help people on a bigger scale. At the end of the day, I am anti strife.
Hmm.
I think strife, arguing, disagreement is the main purpose of that is to break down partnerships.
Hmm.
You can be guy on guy, girl on girl, husband and wife, poly fly, whatever you doing, strife is designed to break things up and to break things down and to put callus on your heart. And my goal is to teach people how to partnership and be successful, no matter
In
what you
all
choose,
relationships, like
even
business and personal.
even though right, even though I'm on the side of man and woman, I'm more against strife and arguing because I've seen it just toast a whole lot of people. And it's not healthy for
Mhm.
nobody. And I don't want to see people be unhealthy mentally. And I don't want to see people continuously build calluses on their heart and so that they just don't have the level of compassion. And that's why the world is cold like it is because we've let strife break us apart when we really need to be pulling together. And so the very first coaching point I want to talk about is it's the mission. The mission should be us, has to be bigger than
Mhm.
me. And if you hear it a lot of times, you keep hearing this, I'm just loving myself, self love, self love. Look, I get it. You do need to take care of yourself. You
Mhm.
do need to take care of yourself spiritually. You do need to take care of yourself emotionally. You do need to become a whole person before you get into any type of relationship or partnership. Or if you get ready to get into the relationship or partnerships, you do need to recognize where your cracks and your foundation are so that you can prepare for that, because that's going to help you be more
Mhm.
successful. The goal still has to be us. Who can I help? Who can I sow into? What foundation can I help? What really drives my heart? Is it the animal foundation? Is it the kids foundation? Is it the seniors foundation? What education system it is? This is it's got to be a us. Because soon as you start focusing on me, that's where you start building calluses. Not that you don't
Mhm.
focus on you. You is just a smaller picture of the bigger picture, which is a us. And I think that's like super important. And when the purpose is unity, your ego starts to lose its power. And a lot of people, they want to feel like they in control. And so you can instantly tell from the conversation how people are when they start focusing on them, because it's an ego thing. It's got to be about them. They don't know how to sit back and ride, like in Academy, sit back and ride. Sit sit back and ride and be cool. They got to control. No, I'm
Right.
driving. I'm gonna go left. And that's just not healthy. And so couples who focus only on who's right instead of what's right destroying us. That's the big key, is focusing on what's right, focusing on what's our
Mhm.
mission, what's our peace, what's our partnership, what's our growth plan. And so you are a virtual
Mhm.
assistant, right? When you work with these different companies, um, do you recognize the mission of these people, whether it's clear or not, based on how much they grow
Mhm.
or don't grow?
And how they kind of communicate the goals, and it's a lot of, sometimes there's some unpacking that I have to do in order to really get to where they want to go. And sometimes, as in life, is resistance. There's conversations that come into play, but overall, once you come to that agreement, then that's when things start. The trust builds, right? The systems kind of come into place, and you see the transition over time, because everything is about building that trust in those relationships, right? And so, for me, being virtual, I have clients that are not even in, I can't reach out and touch them. I've met one of my clients for the very first time. We've been working together for, it'll be 2 years next month. And we just hugged each other
Okay.
last month, so just, I went
Okay.
out to visit. So there's an aspect of when you're coming into those relationships, even though I am their assistant, it's really just understanding and unpacking where the growth needs to occur, or where they want the growth to come in.
Right, right. And that's a
Mhm.
code for a
Mhm.
relationship. Personal, or professional, in order to have two people to be successful, you have to
Mhm.
unpack some things. And you kind of talked about that. What's one of the uncomfortable things that you have to pack on the business side? Because I bet it's the same thing that's uncomfortable on a personal side.
So for me, sometimes it's like when things need to be done. So like deadlines. Um, Sometimes it might be having to remind the client where they were trying to go and why I'm saying certain things, and it may go sideways sometimes. I'm like, this is what you said you wanted to
Right, right. They try to change
do.
directions in the middle and get away from
Yeah,
what's
like
on the
let's
map.
try to focus on this for a little bit longer, and then make adjustments, because it's hard when you're trying to make adjustments on the fly in the process of before you even have a chance to see where things can go. And even in my professional, well, I'm both a professional, but my job, my
Okay.
as a farmer rep, they there are we have so many resources that we can utilize, right, to go into our office and talk to the providers. But sometimes it's just sticking with one resource for a certain amount of time to see how it flows and any results that come from it before going switching up. Oh, this week I got this one. This week I got this one. Let's talk about this. It's all about that
Right,
focus,
right.
consistency that helps with growth.
Right, right, right. Ooh, and that's, you know what? That's great because that leads us right into
I
coaching
keep
point
doing
number
that.
two.
Dang, that's awesome. Leading
But
into the
yeah, I
next
know,
point.
right? You just flowing right into there. Cause look, coaching point number two is drop the scoreboard and pick up the
Mm,
vision board. A lot of times, when one person wins, a lot of people think, well, if you win, then the other person has to lose, and that love, it gets messed up. But the truth really is, when one
that
person
both win.
wins, the other person wins
Hmm.
also, just because they're on
Hmm.
the team. And well, then this is not working. So let's just no,
Hmm.
no, no. Let's stick with this plan and let's make these adjustments. And so I can give you a perfect example of that on my end. And so my wife and I, every Monday, we have a meeting called More
Mm.
Money Monday. And we have 5 questions, the same 5 questions that we go over
I
every
need
week.
those questions.
But they
That's
are
good.
and so you start the meeting out with, okay, what's one, if you had unlimited resources, or if you had a windfall of money, what would be like the first
Hmm.
thing you would do? Now look, when you get into week 3 and the week 4 of doing that, it seems redundant, and you start like almost running to this roadblock where you can't think
Hmm.
of what to do. When you push past that and you go into
Hmm.
week 8, week 9, you start coming up with different areas, and then it becomes easier, and then you're able to see more of a vision, and then you're able to find out what's driving you more in
Hmm.
life. But you do hit that road, that tough road part that makes you want to switch and do
Right.
something else. And so
Yeah,
you
you got
got
to
to
be
stick with
uncomfortable
that.
in it. Like, just be okay.
You,
Be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Is that the term?
you got to be
Yeah.
comfortable with being uncomfortable, because we was like, well, maybe nah, nah. That was me doing that. I was like, well, maybe she was like,
Hmm.
no, we need to follow the
Right. And continue.
instructions. And I'm like, okay, let me get me a fidget toy because this gonna drive me nuts, you know. But guess what? I trust
Hmm.
her because of her
Yes.
skill set. She has skills that I
Hmm.
don't have. I mean, I can do
But you
them,
need that
but it'll
guidance to
take
kind of,
me
yeah,
20 times.
to help
Exactly.
you push through
Exactly.
it.
And so
Yeah.
look, I
Hmm.
focused up and we got it done. And now we've been doing that, and it's really good because it has helped us to focus on the
Hmm.
vision of where we're going, what we're
Mhm.
doing, and it helps us to work more as a
Mhm.
partnership. Most people, they send to get lost or feel like they get
Mhm.
bored, or then they want to switch and do something else, and that's really where you lose
Mhm.
momentum. Then you have to start over
Right. You're
on
just
something else
consistently
different.
starting over. And then that builds frustration as well because you don't feel like you're getting anywhere
Mhm.
because
Ooh,
you
that's
continually starting
good.
over.
And that's what happens in relationships.
Mhm.
You keep starting over with another relationship. Now you with another relationship. Now you with another relationship versus learning how to make that adjustment or having that vision before you even get into a
To call it a
relationship
relationship. It's like,
to
yeah,
even call it
because
one.
it's like uh, for me like a client or onboarding, right? Um, or
Okay.
even like the initial discovery call, I'll say. So really finding out if there's a potential for the partnership, right? Because
Right.
everybody is not for everybody. And
That's right.
so for me, as in my business, is talking to people with that initial discovery call to say, okay, yep, either we can or cannot work together, right?
That's
If we
right.
continue to the next step in the relationship, right? It's that onboarding. Okay, now let's really get to understand where you're trying to, where do you want to go? How can I help you get
That's
there?
right.
What are some areas that I may need to strengthen in order for this partnership to work, and vice versa. They need to come with an open mind as I'm helping them through systems. If I see something that's not effective, I need to bring it to them. Say, this isn't very effective. How can we make it better? And they, from their
That's
aspect, they
right.
have to be willing to kind of take some of that information in and say, okay, let's try it. Or I just want to keep rolling with it. Okay, let's just, it's all in that communication.
That's right. That's right. And I'm gonna go to coaching
Mm-hmm.
point number 3, but it goes back to what you said about the
Mm-hmm.
onboarding. That's why you get the dating
Mm-hmm.
roadmap, because the dating roadmap is actually an
Well,
onboarding
look at
plan
that.
for a relationship. Look,
There I
look,
go
there you go again.
again,
There you go again, just right on point. And that's really what the personal awareness and success training
talking.
course is about. It's about knowing where you're at, what you need. And a lot of people think they know where they're at. And here's just the key point. If your relationship, if you keep starting over and over and
Mm-hmm.
over again, then you don't have enough information. I don't want to say you got the wrong information. You don't have enough of the
Mm-hmm.
right information. And that's what the dating roadmap is. It's a step-by-step plan on what to do, how to follow it. Follow it. It's going to lead you to either we can work together or either
Mm-hmm.
we not. And you can figure that out
Along the way.
before you give it, before you get into some bedroom etiquette
Mm-hmm.
type stuff. You can figure that. You don't even have to go there, and then now the next thing you know, you feeling some
Mm-hmm.
type of way, which actually is going to lead right into coaching point number 3, and that is a purpose driven relationship produces patience. I'm patient with my wife
Because you know the big goal, the end game.
because I know the
Mm-hmm.
big goal, and she is a perfectionist. She doesn't like to
Mm-hmm.
make mistakes, so she'll kind of pull back a little bit. The only thing I had to do is assure her that I don't come out right,
Mm-hmm.
because I trust her purpose
Mm-hmm.
and the gifts and talents and the skill set that she has.
Yeah.
Even if it don't come out right, I know it was the best way
The
to
intention.
go.
Yeah.
It might have been a bad plan on my part,
Mm-hmm.
but I've watched her work. So that's me trusting the purpose,
Right.
her purpose, seeing her purpose, and I just keep saying, give me more, baby, give me more. She like, well, what, no, just give me more, just give me
Mm-hmm.
more. Cause I don't see it.
Right.
And so And that's really good. And when you know where the relationship is going, you don't have to panic in certain moments. You know,
Mm-hmm.
vision really gives you the context of peace,
Mm-hmm.
because you know where y'all going, and so we're just
Right.
able to chip away, chip away, chip away. Yeah, I want to be in the multi-millionaire status, because there's some things, some charities and some different organizations I'd
Mm-hmm.
like to give to. So
Right. Right.
that's just where that's at. Well,
Yeah.
guess
It's
what,
good stuff.
Kasha? Yeah, I know, right? That's our time already, and it's like,
Yeah.
man, well, we need to go ahead and hit
Right.
another change real quick.
I know, right?
Right, y'all.
Oh,
Hey,
well, don't forget, people, folks, just drop your comments, drop your thoughts as you watch the episode. Any
yes,
questions you want us to follow up on for the next episode. So we're going getting into part 3 um, next week, and that's the Law of Mount Everest.
yes,
The bigger the dream, the better the team.
that's right.
So start thinking about that as we continue to layer on, and we're rocking.
That's right. That's right. And if you want to know more information about the dating roadmap or the personal awareness and success training, just drop. Can you give me more information about that? You know, we love when you guys ask questions or interact. Thank you so much for doing that.
Yes,
We appreciate that. Hey, we just want to help people be successful and accomplish more together, so that they can rest in love, rest in peace, and let their light shine.
absolutely.
All right, y'all. That's our
Thanks.
time. That's our time. Thanks for joining us, and
Hmm.
we will see you in the next episode.